thumbs up and come back again, because I will be posting some of the other ones I'm working on and other projects. Well, it feels like forever we've been under, I want to call it house arrest. The stay at home order to stay at home while the virus is going on. So I've been out putting some paint on one of my apple tree fairy houses, which is almost done. And then I have the barn fairy house that I had put some clay on last night, so it's drying. So I guess it's time to start fairy house number 4, which I have in mind is going to be a pumpkin patch. This that I've already put together is plastic. It's going to be my main pumpkin. I've got a whole bunch of these little, these were kitty feed things. So I'm thinking they might be the accessory pumpkins. Set it on some kind of boxes put together to be my base. And I don't know, use these to get my pumpkin shape. And we'll see. But I'm not watching the president. There is actually a Star Wars marathon going on today. It's dark and gray and glooming outside. So, yeah, let's start on Fairy House number 4, which will be a pumpkin patch. Okay, to kind of get my pumpkin shape, what I'm doing is I'm taking toilet tissue rolls and lightly stuffing them with newspaper, and then using the aluminum foil to kind of to give it the shape. And then I'll come back and cover this up. Mark for where I want a round window, mark for where I want the door. So yeah, I think I need another tube in here, and then maybe a half a tube for the top of the door. So I have to see on that. But yeah, that's how I'm getting my basic shape for the main pumpkin fairy house. And somewhere, where'd I put it? Oh, okay. This I cut out and have piped together. This will be the bottom, and this will be the hole that a battery operated tea light candle can go up in. And so hopefully it'll glow through there. So yeah, that's the second of the marathons coming on. The Star Wars marathon. I'm continuing. Well, right now it's actually looking a bit more like a spaceship than a pumpkin. But I've got my general shape down. Some little pumpkin vine curlicues out of the aluminum foil where the door is, where the window goes. And so now we're going to just have to do the process of covering it with some masking tape to hold it together. Found that works real good. I am doing something else different. Probably I will start with my barn, but I have ordered some gesso, which is supposed to smooth things out before the painting. So I'm going to try that out on my barn first. But on this one too, since it looks so funky on the inside, and of course I'm going to have my my tea light battery operated candle, I do think before I attach the main pumpkin to the base, where it'll fit on the base here, it's going to kind of go like this, and I'll have to do something to make stairs push it to the back, and there's that other thing. And this is going to be like a smaller pumpkin over here to the side. Actually, what I'm thinking about doing on the smaller pumpkin is making like a miniature little patio set. So that'll be the patio, but yeah, I'll have to figure out something. But anyway, back to the inside. It just looks so bad in there. I think before I do attach it, I am going to just take like maybe some white spray paint and try to spray paint. I'll try to cover up where my door and windows are, the places I want the light to shine through. And because on this one, I plan on the door is going to be open since there's not that many windows on it. So I'll make an open door on it. So I'll tape up in there to knock that space off. But the rest of it I may paint with some spray paint. Just make it look a little better. Even though, I don't know, nobody's going to really be looking up under there. So, I don't know. It just may make me feel better because I know it looks so bad up under there. But anyway, still watching Star Wars Marathon and working on my pumpkin as the rain starts coming down. I am making paper clay, hoping that I won't have as much problems with cracking as I do with the air dry clay. Okay, I am working on my pumpkin patch fairy house. I've got all my frame done. It's going to have a kitty on it, kind of like that kitty. Excuse my messy bed. Some leaves, some extra flowers, and another little pumpkin back here, and some more curlicue things. But I am experimenting. I made my own paper clay. I used a recipe from a lady that has a website. It's called ultimatepapermache.com. Wonderful lady, a lot of tips, a lot of great videos. Go over and check out her website. But yeah, I've just, even my last fairy house I made with the barn, where I put sacks over it, I put a wet towel in with it to slow the air dry clay process of drying out to keep the cracking. I went over it with some of the joint compound and white glue, and then gessoed it, and there are still some tiny little hairline cracks in it. But I guess for an old rustic barn, it's okay. So I've made this up. I don't think I squeezed. Oh, I didn't use TP, toilet paper, since toilet paper is kind of a rare critter right now to use, but it does fall apart and you get the fibers really fast on using TP. I just used some napkins. I had some party napkins, so that's why there is a glint of blue. I don't know if you can see, because there was some pieces of blue on the party napkins. But the color's not going to matter because it will be covered with the gesso. Because in painting the barn, I found out the gesso just really helps the paint go on so much smoother. And so my ideal, like I said, I'm not sure if I squeezed enough water out of my paper napkins before I added the other ingredients to it. So I don't know if I should just let it sit here for a little while and dry out, let some of the moisture dry out of it. Or I'm thinking about with this handy dandy little spatula that bends, if it'll hold its shape, that I may put it on here, kind of like you would decorate a cake with cake icing. I don't know. Going to be kind of hard to get around in all of these. I swear, if this stuff cracks on me, I will go to using just paper mache on these things, because I know paper mache does not crack. I've used it before. It just takes forever for it to dry in between each layer that you have to put, and you have to put so many layers on it. So anyway, I'm going to try this, and I'll let you know. I don't know if I should put some on the bottom. Might be a good place to start and experiment with. I think I will do that. I think I'm going to put it on the bottom first and see how it does there, and let it go ahead and dry out. Put the rest, what I don't use, in a storage container and let do the bottom of it and let it dry and see what happens. Okay, I'll let you know. Oh, I do have some cornstarch in case it gets really tacky on my hands. And I did do the advice of, I'm not sure if it was Ultimate Paper Mache or one of the other places, but since there is flour in this recipe, they suggested adding a little bleach to your water when you soak your paper to help cut down on any mold that may come along later on. So yeah, I did put that in my paper and soaked it. Talk to you later. Here is how my pumpkin fairy house is looking so far. I've got the paper clay that I made halfway up it, and on the bottom, as you see, no cracks. When I put it on the bottom, it took forever for it to dry, so I think I had way too much water left in it. Yeah, so it took forever to dry. It's been outside today, and that still feels a little damp. Little cracking up here in this part. But yeah, I gotta get some more on it. I did discover too that there is no way I'm gonna be able, since I do have it a little wet, there's no way I'm gonna be able to put it around my loopy curly cues that's gonna be going on here. So what I have done is I've cut some strips of paper, or torn them, because I read tearing's better. It gives you more fibers on the edges. And I'm going to go to the old paper mache method to cover these. They do have the masking tape on them, so maybe just one coat will work. One or two coats of paper mache around them will hold them. So that's what I'm fixing to do now. Got my glue and water mixed up, and going to go the old paper mache method. Well, the pumpkin fairy house is coming along. It's a little bit, I have wound up, it's a little bit of a combination of the paper clay that I learned to make, and also just paper mache, because on a lot of these tips, as you can see right here between the tips here and the tips over here, these are much smoother. And like down here on kitty ears, there was just no way with the paper clay I could get that. In fact, it just really has a lot of texture to it that I just, no cracking, but now just too much chunky texture. I'd like for it to be smoother. So I've got a couple of different grades of sandpaper. I'm going to sit here and sand and see if I can smooth it out a little bit before I take it and do the gesso on it, and then get started painting on it. It's weight-wise, maybe it's a little bit lighter than the air dry clay, but not by much, not by much, because this was all done with aluminum foil. So I did get some new tools from Amazon today. These palette knives. Probably if I would have had them, it would have been easier to try to smooth this out a little bit, maybe better than just using this knife that I tried to pin the edge of. And it's still my little knife, and it'll get down in little cracks and stuff better. But yeah, I tried to make one and saw it didn't work out too good. So I ordered a set of these. They're not too expensive anyway. So yeah, some different sizes to get into cracks and crannies. So I've got my sandpaper here, so I'm fixing to try to sand it and smooth it out a little bit before it's time to take it out and get it painted. The pumpkin house has its coat of gesso on it, and it is now out in my shop to get color painted on it. So just got that started with the flowers. I hadn't really decided the pumpkin color. I've got this, it's supposed to be pumpkin, but I also oh, that's not pumpkin. I had another pumpkin. Oh well. Oh well. Anyway, getting started to paint the pumpkin. I guess the leaves and stem, I kind of looked at pictures because I was wondering if this should be brown in the vine, but it looks like they're all green. So yeah, I'll do the leaves in all green. Probably a black kitty cat. And then I think the ground should be brown for dirt, for like where a pumpkin grows. So getting started on it. Well, the pumpkin fairy house is starting to get some color to it. I decided the bottom's going to just be brown like it was dirt. Got the flowers done. I know pumpkin flowers are yellow. I looked them up, but wasn't real sure about their center. So it's a fantasy fairy house, so I guess I can make my centers any color I want to. So basically I just have the pumpkin part to cut and paint the kitty cat. But the kitty cat's going to be black and white. I was going to do them all black, but all black wouldn't hardly show up, especially the parts that are down here. So probably kind of a tuxedo type black and white, and get the pumpkin painted. And I have decided I'm going to use the shiny acrylic finish on it, and not the matte like I used on the barn. I think like the apple tree, it needs to be more of a shiny color. And clean my windows again and put some felt on the bottom. So it's coming along really good. It should be done here pretty soon, and I'll show you the whole video. Pumpkin fairy house is finished. Yeah, I used the shiny glaze on it. You turn it. This is actually the doorway in the front with the little kitty. And this was made from the paper clay. Before I learned how to make the paper clay a little more smoother, so it is kind of got a rough finish on it. But you know, pumpkins, after all, do have a little rough texture to them. Okay, and I put a little felt on the bottom for a buffer pad. So I'm going to turn the lights off, put the battery operated tea light camera in, and see how it looks through the fairy pumpkin house, which this is I did sign this one. Where at? Back there. And it is number 4. So I decided to go ahead and put the number 4 on it so I don't forget how many I've made. But it's number 4 that I've made. So yeah, let's turn the lights out and see what it looks like with the candle in it. Okay, here we are with the little glow of the candle inside. I see a little glow down there that I didn't mean for it to glow. But yeah, it shows up pretty good through the windows. The glow in the little fairy house with the tea light candle in it flickering. And it will probably be going out as soon as they get started back up after the quarantine. It'll go out to the Saturday night auction house. I'm not really making these items to sell. It was just for the entertainment of doing it while we're under the stay-at-home order during the pandemic. But I don't have places to put them all, and somebody else may enjoy them that doesn't make them, So yeah, number 4 will be going out there, and I'm ready to start painting number 5. I hope you enjoyed me putting together this little crafty video. If you have any suggestions or comments, questions, please leave them down below in the description area, the comment area. And I would love a thumbs up and a share and a like. Oh, and that thumbnail. That's the one I broke that thumbnail off working in the yard. Sorry, it's not. Maybe I should go with that thumbnail. It looks a little better. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll give it a thumbs up. And come back again because I will be posting some of the other ones I'm working on and other projects. And as soon as the summer weather gets a little more stable, I'm going to actually get out and do some of the cement projects I've been wanting to start. But for now, I'm still indoors working on using the paper mache clay or paper clay and the air dry clay to make the little fairy houses, and just doing some masks. Now my mask, when I start making them, the paper mache masks, they'll probably go up on eBay because they're small enough to ship and all. But yeah, like I said, please leave your comments below. Have a safe day, and hopefully be talking to you soon.